them. I think for this speech, since it's not too long, 1 note card is probably enough. You don't want to be going up to a 2-minute speech with 10 note cards, because it's just like, what are we doing here? That's too much. So real quick, what might you write on a note card? Just like
Title, word,
bullet points. What is it?
title, every word, what I have to say.
Keywords.
Keywords, yes.
Yep. What do you think, Lisa?
The attention grabber.
Okay.
And and the that context thing.
Right.
What's that context thing called?
Just context.
The necessary context.
Yeah. So if there's any parts of your speech where you're like, I keep forgetting this part, I keep forgetting this, yeah, put that on the note card, because it's just for you. I'm not going to grade the note card. So that's not to say that any note card is good, because sometimes people have a really bad note card. What I mean by that is they try to write exactly word for word, exactly what they're going to say on a note card in tiny font, and then they're treating it like it's just a mini script, and they're up here like, and then next this happened, and it's like, it's your story. You lived this, right? I understand if you don't remember it all off the top of your head, but like use that to keep you on track as opposed to completely relying on it, right? So keywords, right? Big ideas. So that's kind of why I have you structure the outline that way. You have your main points and then your full sentence details within that. I think the main points are things you want to be writing on your outline. I need to talk about these 4 ideas. And then, yeah, if you have other things, I keep forgetting this detail, something like that, maybe scribble that in there also, something like that. But ultimately, you don't need a lot of like full sentences or things like that on a note card. You want things that are going to jog your memory. So I see, talk about the trip to Kansas, whatever. Oh, I need to talk about this part. And so you have the big ideas, and that's going to help remind you. Then ideally, if you're well practiced and things, then it's going to be helpful to have that. I would also highly recommend always make your note cards a little bit early. That way you can practice with them. Mm-hmm. Makes a big, big difference. It's so obvious when somebody made a note card a minute before class. First of all, I walk into class and I see people like, hi, how you doing? Good, like scribbling on these note cards. Like, okay, great. And then they get in the front and it's clearly they're just trying to read chicken scratch. They're just like, and what did I write? And it's like, write it nicely, practice with it. That way you know that when I see this part, oh, I need to talk about this. It's just a way of communicating with yourself, of making sure that you have a shortcut in front of you. Last thing I want to say on this too, when you're using a note card, you don't want to be stuck like this the entire time. Even if you are making eye contact with people, this is kind of limiting. Work on holding it with one hand. Or if you're not using it as much, you put it to the side, something like that. Keep your hands open, right? We talked about how you don't want to have your hands in your pocket. You don't want to be doing this the whole time. You also don't want to be doing this the whole time, right? So I might comment that on people. Try not to hold your notes with both hands. Make sure you're just open to the audience and that sort of thing. So, like I said, 30 minutes or so, feel free to use some of the note cards, and I'll kind of meet with each person individually. If you have questions, then feel free. DJ's not back here. Elijah, you want to come up? Go. All right. So, how do you feel about the outline so far? Okay. Good. A little bit more depth. I think you have some depth to it. I think you could use a little bit of a clearer structure to it. So I would say labeling the intro, body, conclusion again, just so you're seeing like, where is my intro? I think that helps because the intro is kind of like its own body a little bit, and then you can lead that into the actual meat of the story. Then I would say labeling those main points and doing it in a way where it's not like a full sentence. So I haven't really read through the speeches yet. I'll give you the gist of it. What happens